What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the meta custom tactics. I'm going to go through each one of these and give you 4 different custom tactics, one for every aspect of the game. Just to give you an example here, we got a defensive formation, one to start the game with or to close the game out. We got one a bit more attacking, but also 3-5-2. Don't forget, it's also very defensive. This one defends in a 5-3-1-1. You've got the 4-1-2-1-2, and then of course you've got the formation to use when you're losing and you need to get back into the game. Couple of things you're going to see different from the last week. Now, the new 4-2-3-1. I've got rid of the 4-3-3. If you like the 4-3-3, you can still put it here. But these are the custom tactics for the 4-2-3-1. Now, if you watched my yesterday's video, you will know that the striker can join as an attacker. It basically makes a 3-5-2 essentially going forward, but it makes it better defensively. So what I said to myself is, well, do you need now an ultra defensive formation? Well, you don't. So these are the 4-2-3-1 tactics. And basically, if you look at the instructions, we've got stay central, come back in defense on the striker. All 3 cams come back on defense, but they go and get into the box as well. Both CDMs are cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, cover center. And the left back and right back, of course, on stay back, conservative overlap. Now, this is the thing. It's a defensive formation as it is. It's got quite low width and low depth. If you want to, you can use drop back if you want to. But if you want to make it attacking, you just have to use extra striker. And then it ends up becoming even more attacking formation. So it's kind of like 2 formations in one. So it actually saves as a slot. And that way we can put a 3-5-2 back in. So this is how it works. And for those who wonder about the centre back, how do you know which one goes forward? What is the game decides the one who's got the high attacking work rates and the one has got the better shooting. So, for example, of course, Cancelo trumps Kyle Walker in terms of the shooting ability. Therefore, Kyle Walker is the one that goes forward. That's how the game works it out, in case you're wondering. So check out that video yesterday, and that's how you can attack this formation. It's basically a 4-2-3-2, essentially, if you think about it. The extra man being the striker going back and forth. But that is the defensive formation. And that's just what I would normally do is I would start on this formation. And then if I need to use an extra striker, I just turn the D-pad like a light switch, turn the D-pad, press up on the D-pad, press down, use the extra striker, and bam, you make it very attacking on the fly. And that is why the 4-3-3 went. So the 3-5-2, what we've done, we made some changes, okay? The 3-5-2 is also a very defensive formation that we've changed the system. So it's still got the depth high, slow build-up play, direct passing. But what we have done basically is we've gone back to that system. For those who don't remember, you defend in a 5-3-1-1. So that is how you defend. So these guys, they will retreat backwards. They'll create the back line of 5. He will join in to create the left centre mid. Hakimi will go to the centre and Bernardo Silva like that. That is how you play in a 5-3-1-1. Equally, you attack in a 3-5-2. So it's very, very similar. But this way, people always say to me, look, Neil, I need to either defend with a 4 defender formation or I need to defend with a 5 defender. So now you got both options. So no one can complain now saying, I can't defend, because you can't defend with 5 defenders and 3 CDMs. It's probably 99% your gameplay. Stay central, stay forward, get it behind for 1 striker. The cam is also on stay forward, get into the box for a cross. And this is very important. The left striker or the person you want to join the midfield, stay central, get it behind and come back in defense. So that means that when you defend, you'll retreat back. If you find this is too defensive for your playstyle, just leave this player on stay forward is what I would say, okay? And then both CDMs cut passing lanes to right and cover center. Left mid and right mid, come back in defense, get into box for a cross and get in behind. And then the left centre back and the right centre back, both of them on overlap. So you can see now we have 2 formations. One is defensive but can be very attacking. One is ultra defensive but can also be ultra attacking. So you've got 2 variations for every aspect of the gameplay. So that is why to be honest, you can probably get rid of these ones and just use the game with just these 2. But we still need a pressing tactic. And what I've done is I'm still deciding what to put here. I'm not really the biggest of fans of the 4-1-2-2 second variation, but I know some of you guys love this. These are the tactics on the screen right now. And for this one's very, very important. Don't forget, we attack with the left back and right back. But these are tactics on the screen. It's a kind of like a pressing tactic. So if you're losing, let's say, you're losing a game 1 or 2-0, you can definitely change it. It's 4-1-2-2 second variation, very, very narrow, especially going down the line and doing those sweats across the box. Instructions, stay central, stay forward, get it behind for the main striker. The other one, so let's say, for example, because this has no left mid to right mid, what you're going to find is when you get the ball on a counter-attack, you sometimes want a player to drift wide. So we left one of the players unbalanced, but I always want Eusebio in the middle. I never want Eusebio to go down the wing. I want that guy centrally. So then what we've done is we put Messi on balance, getting behind. We put the Cam on stay forward, get into the box for a cross. And this is important. The left back and right back's on stay back while attacking. Now, this video, as usual, is sponsored by Patreon. So it's patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. You don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. But for those who are not part of the Patreon, watch this video. I explain how you use the 4-1-2-1-2 and how you trigger these players manually. Because people, what they do is they put these players on balance. But the truth is, you never need to do this. You should always put them on stay back while attacking. And if you ever want to bring them forward, then you can always use the D-pad tactics, attacking fullbacks. But the reason why I say don't do it is when you leave these guys unbalanced, they don't play like left mids and right mids in the 3-5-2. They just hover. That's all they do. And it's fine if you're trying to create situations down the wing, but then you're stuck with two centre backs at the back. You're gonna get countered. Everyone is basically playing somewhat of a 3-5-2 with two strikers and a cam. You've already got outnumbered with your defensive line. If you then put one of your CDMs on drop between defenders, you make a back three. But these guys, they do nothing. If you're doing that system, then you might as well just go to the 3-5-2. Why? It's because the 3-5-2 has native left mids and right mids, has the 4-1-2-1-2 centrally, and then of course you have the back three. So this is basically a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation with the left centre mid and right centre mid. So do you see? So that's why I would say leave these guys on stay back. And if you need to, you can just trigger them forward yourself. Do a 1-2 with these guys. Do an L1 trigger. Bring them forward yourself manually. As I said, don't forget to check that video out. It's this one over there. I'll do a video on this on my second channel as well. But for those part of the Patreon, make sure you check that video. That explains how you use it and how you create the overlaps. Both centre mids on balance, get into the box or cross. If you want to, you put one of them on get forward. Cover wing is important because if one of these players do go forward, you need one of these players to cover for that position. Naturally, they will stay centrally, but if the left back and right back, if they go forward, then Sinistera and Bernardo Silva, they will cover for the left wing back and right wing back because counter-attacks are still at the worst it's ever been. You're still going to get countered very, very easily. That's why you have to have that safety net. CDM, cut passing lane, step out attacking and cover center. Nothing is new over there. And that is basically the same. So now you understand why the left back and right back on balance. You understand why the left centre mid and right centre mid are on cover wing. And you understand why there's no drop between defenders or anything funky like that. And I don't defend in the 4-4-2 either. The reason why I don't defend in the 4-4-2 is because at that point you might as well just use the 3-5-2. If you really want to defend in the 4-4-2, then you can use ultra attacking. Now this is the one, if you're losing inside the game, this is the formation to change. Now there's two things you can do here. You can either start with this formation. Now, when I say start, you have to be very candid here, right? You have to understand your skill level. Okay, if you're a rank 1 player right now and you're using these tactics, you can use this for the entire game. But if you're sitting there saying you're a rank 5 player, doesn't matter what anyone tells you, there's no rank 1 tactics that are ever going to get you rank 1 type of wins. But if you're a rank 5 player, tactics can make you a rank 4 or maybe even a rank 3 player. Most of the time, my tactics get everyone at least 1 rank or higher consistently over time. So what I'm trying to say is understand your skill level. If you know you're running out with your centre backs, if you know you're sitting there saying, you know what, no, I'm the one that gets frustrated, then don't play this formation. Because if you make a mistake, you need to have a good enough skill level to recover in time and use teammate contain to recover. So that's what I want to say. Very, very important. So you can start with this formation if you want to take the game to your opponent, but don't go into every single game with this formation because once your elo gets higher, you're going to face better players. Remember, I've always told you, if you verse my grandmother in a race, you play my grandmother 10 times on FIFA, you'll beat her 10 times. But once you verse someone who's better than you or a pro player, you're going to lose 10 times in a row. So it depends on who you're playing. Don't just think if my tactic worked one game, it's going to work for the rest of the weekend league. It doesn't work like that, guys. You have to change. Do you see Liverpool playing the exact same system every single time against every single team? No, you don't. This is the tactics. Long ball forward runs, 45 width. If you want to, you can use team press, the D-pad tactic in-game. Or let's say, for example, you're losing 2-0, okay? Let's say you're losing 2-0. You're on this formation and you're losing and you still can't press. Just pause the game and go to constant pressure, okay? I'm going to explain to you how I would go into this game. So I'll come back into tactics in a second, okay? So listen, this is important. I would start with the 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1. And I would stay in these two formations most of the game. If I need a back 5 with 3 CDMs, this is there. If I need to have 2 CDMs to control the game for possession, I would use the 4-2-3-1. I would start with this formation. And if I need to, I can use the extra strike if I want. If I'm still struggling with this formation, which I don't think you'll struggle to attack with the extra strike, it's basically impossible. But if you do, you need a left mid or right mid, then you can use the 3-5-2. If you then want to go narrow and you're still down 1 or 2-0, you can go to the 4-1-2 on the second variation, and you've got pressure every touch to aid you a little bit. If at that point you're still losing, and let's say 70 minutes, you need to get back in the game, then you go 4-2-2, and then you go constant pressure or team press immediately at 70 minutes. Do not go team press, constant pressure at 90 minutes when you're 3-0 down. It's too late. You're going to have to do it a bit earlier. But equally, don't do it when you're 1-0 down. Too many times I see people, okay, I'll start with a 4-2-1 because Neil told me to. They go 1-0 down, they're saying they've gone to the 4-2-2. No, just stay. Even if you concede a goal in a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-5-2, guys, just stay in the game. You could come back 1-1. Don't just go straight to ultra attacking just because you conceded a goal. And in terms for the instructions for the 4-2-2, one striker on stay forward, one on come back in defense, both on stay central. Both Ram come back in defense. You can of course get into the box for cross if you want to. Both CDMs, you put them on cut back, stay back while taking cover center. For those of you that trust yourself defensively and you know you can defend with one CDM, you can of course put get forward or the most attacking player on balanced if you want to. But I trigger these guys myself. And left back and right back, I put them on stay back. The only thing I've done here is normally something like this. Something like this. I was just experimenting with Cancelo and Hakimi and CDMs because they've got the best standard team of the year players. They can apply pressure because it's team of the season now. Most of the players can do it. And that is basically a tactic. So for the balance tactic, all I do basically, so for the actual balance tactic, I don't use those. So let me explain to you what I mean, okay? So this is how I line up my team for chemistry purposes, okay? Then this is the best chemistry I can get. There's no other formation where I get Messi and Hakimi on 10 chemistry together. I have to play it this way. I have to make some sacrifice with these two guys, but I don't mind. If I wasn't so lazy, I probably would go ahead and change the position, but I probably can't bother. Then inside the game, the balance tactic is the one that I start with, okay? Now what I've done is I put everything on low and I put all these guys on comeback and defense. So this is the anti-kickoff tactic. Because don't forget, when you change tactics in game, guys, it doesn't happen instant. It's not like a deep pass attack. It doesn't work instantaneously. So everyone will come back in defense. The center mid will drop between defenders as well. And the logic is, if my opponent is going to start the game first, I'm going to change to my 4-2-3-1. But the game is going to take some time to change from my chemistry formation to the 4-2-3-1. So the idea is the balanced one is just used so you don't get countered or you don't concede in that first couple of minutes. Then I go to the 4-2-3-1. Now, depending on your skill level, as I said, for most players that are rank 1, we'll stay here 95% of the time because we can press and do everything ourselves, man. Don't forget, all pro players, they play everything on balance. They know what they're doing. If you know that, let's say, for example, let's be honest here, if you're like a Division 7 or Division 8 player, you might find yourself on the upper end of the system most of the time. The idea is this system is made for all ranges, okay? It doesn't, you don't have to be a Division 1 player, you don't have to be a Division 10 player. It works for all, it's a system for every aspect. Because what people do is they go into a game, they use one formation, and they don't use other 3 slots. They say they do, they might use ultra attacking here and there, but they don't. So the idea is a system for every aspect of the game. You got defensive formation, also very attacking formation. You got ultra defense formation and ultra attacking formation. You got a very narrow formation and you got a wide formation. You got every single formation you probably want in this system. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget this video is sponsored by Patreon, so it's patreon.com/NealGuides. And if you are watching this, I believe it should be uploaded by 29th. If you're watching this now, when it's May, wait for June before you do sign up. Because I've got something else special coming up very, very soon. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Don't get bit after 1 month. I'll refund your money. That is, of course, the NealGuides guarantee, including the Division 10 to the Elite Division Series. But anyway, guys, that is the tactics. Commiserations to Liverpool from the Champions League yesterday. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, of course. I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.